Hey, listen, this is John Solider. This is our second set of exciting interviews about our new book, Moving Up 2020 and Beyond. And we've got a very unique and special young man that's going to talk with us this afternoon. Jean Carlos Torres, how are you today?
I'm fantastic, John. For me, it's always a pleasure, to be here, especially with you.
Well, listen, it's always a pleasure, and to watch what you're doing in your company is amazing. But I have a few questions for you.
Cool.
So let's get started. I know you've had the book almost from the second it came out. I think you were actually the first person that actually went online and ordered it, which was great. But
Yeah,
how
once
is
you texted me it's out, and I said I got it like 5 minutes later.
same minute? How is this book helping you with your business?
Well, look, I just recruited someone a couple weeks ago into my business, and I told her, I said, hey, if you want to grow, get this book. Get this book. She says, well, can I read yours for like the first week? I just want to finish yours in 4 days. I said, in 4 days you want to read it? I said, well, here you go. And before you know it, she read it. And in 4 days, she's acting like if she were in the industry for 20 years. She's having all types of conversations. She is just amazed. And just before, when like everything was kind of like of a mystery, now like nothing's a mystery. So now her confidence is huge. So now it's just she's not, so she's just not a new person. She's like an experienced person just by reading the book. So this is just one example, just one, because the book just came out. So I know this will have a domino effect into hundreds of people, positive.
Beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, glad to hear it. And that's really what it's intended for, is to help people, understand, our industry a little bit better, and understand, some of the people in our industry that we come from, all different
Yep,
walks of life, all different experience levels, all different countries in some cases, all different
yep.
situations economically, educationally, etc. So terrific. So let me ask you this: the legacy, and I know you just turned 22 last week. Is that correct?
Correct.
So at 22, what kind of legacy is this going to create for you going forward?
Well, that's a good one. That's a good one because when after you graduate from high school, you never think this is gonna happen at 22. Never. At least me. I never imagined this at 22 ever. So at such a young age, it's such a great tool that, again, years will go through, but it's just not about me, right? It really is about others. So I just think it's a matter of, hey, if an 18-year-old started, like I always say the same thing, if a scrappy 18-year-old could start this, and at 22 they can be at such an important stage, right? And it's such a book, then it just creates, I think it creates a legacy, but it creates a domino effect. Once again, it's just, for me, it's all about the domino effect you create in others, right? So it's just like, the legacy is a scrappy 18-year-old could do it, anybody else could do it. That's how I see it.
Exactly. No, it's great. So tell me this. So the book comes out a few weeks ago,
Yep,
and I know you bought the digital one when it first came out, and then of course
yep,
the soft copy came out about a week to 10 days after you got the physical copy. So you shared the one story already about the lady that you recruited with the book for your company, but what did your family think? What did, as you started to show it to family members who maybe, doubted the business was real, or that you were real, or that you were really making money, and all of a sudden here you are in a book, front and center, a book, by the way, that's in Spanish, English, and eventually French, and it might even be in one or two other languages. I mean, it's amazing at, such a young age to be in that. But more than that, what, family members, as you started to show it to them, family, or even, some of your close friends from high school that, perhaps who, same thing, said, oh, that's never going to work. Those things don't work, all that kind of negative stuff, right? Some of their responses.
well, it's interesting. The response has been great. The response has, like, they've shared it. Like, for example, my sister, she saw it. She's never been against it ever. But she's never been against it, but she's never been into it either, right? So it's like she's been kind of like in between. But when I told her about it, she shared it to the whole world. She put in her social media. She put in her chats. It's just so proud, you know? And of course, when you put that, then all these people start making you like all these questions. Hey, what is that? You know, what are you doing? Right. So I showed it to my grandparents and some friend of mine, and someone just looked at me. And that's all they said. Right. But then someone actually did share it. So it's been an interesting response. It really has. I think it's been a shocking response. Like, wow, okay. And then there's been the positive response. I was like, you know what? I'll, I'll share it because now I believe in you, right? After 3 years of doing this, now I believe in you. So, I mean, in general, it's been, yeah, I mean, it's been a great response. But again, it's been that shocking, like, whoa, or it's been like, okay, that's fantastic type of thing.
Well, this is funny. I haven't even told you this story yet. But of course, you and I are in the same company. The book's generic, so we're not talking about specific companies. But you and
Right,
I are in
right,
the
right,
same
right, right, right.
convention. And a young lady from Western Canada came up to me and she asked me to, she wanted to interview me for her group. And we started talking. And you walked out with your mom, and she had read the book already digitally in English. And she said, "Is that John Carlos Torres?" I said, "Yeah, that's she said, that guy's amazing. She said, he's just, she's like 45 years old. She said, he's amazing, that young guy, you know? So I said, listen, what are you talking to me for? And you got busy talking to somebody and she wanted to interview me. So I don't think she had an opportunity to talk to you or not, but she was just so impressed that somebody at such a tender age was already having, tremendous, tremendous success. So you're a rock star already. I wish I was you. You want to trade places?
Hey, no big deal.
I wish we had a magic pill for that. But so tell me this. So two last questions.
Yep.
Number one question, I know you get the opportunity to work with your mom. And I know your mom is a unique woman. I've gotten to know her, and it's been a blessing to get to know her. But
Thank you. She's great.
how is that cemented your relationship, which obviously already was good with your mom, but how is that, working with your mom in a business, how has that enhanced the relationship that you have, with your mom at this point? How do you see her maybe a little different even than you did prior to working with her?
That's a great question, actually. I would say we've, for example, maybe talents that like I didn't know she had before. Now working with her, I'm like, wow, she's just really great at that, and vice versa. Like before, things that she didn't see in me, she's like, whoa, he's great at that, right? So we've come to appreciate our own talents like drastically, like a lot. Oops, wait. Wait a second. Oops.
Yeah,
Okay. Am I here? Okay, yeah. No, someone's calling me. Yeah. So she's homeschooled me my whole life. But before in school, I was a really slow learner. So it was kind of frustrating for her to kind of teach me sometimes because I was a really slow learner. But now that we're in this journey together, we've come to realize, whoa, he's great. She's great. That, and I, I've come, I've come to really see that nothing you do or nothing, how do I say this? In sport, for example, whenever a team wins, they say, "What? It's teamwork. It's teamwork. It's teamwork." But it almost sounds like a cliche almost, right? But now working with my mom, I noticed, wow, it's all teamwork. I mean, really. I mean, it's all teamwork. I mean, I would have not been here without her. And if you ask her, she'd probably say the same thing. So
Mhm.
it's just, again, so I think it's appreciating her talents. And then when working with your team, by already knowing your experience, and you start to appreciate other people's talents more because of working with someone else, right? And then knowing, hey, this isn't, it's like I always said, the business is never about me, it's about the person in front of me, right? So just working with her, yeah. So the relationship I skyrocketed, but I think that that thing of appreciating our talents a lot more has definitely deepened the relationship. And something else, I mean, we don't want to do business things by ourselves anymore. Like if you travel somewhere, let's go together. If we go, let's do it together. Let's do it together. Because it's 50 times better,
Hmm.
right? Because sometimes I lose a point, she gets a point. Sometimes I tell her about a point, and then she gets another point. So it's been a great experience, John. It really has.
Wonderful. Well, it's great. Every time I see the two of you together, I'm jealous that my mom's still here, but she's 92. But when we started, the business we're in, we actually started it together way back 20 plus years ago.
Really?
So
Look at that.
it kind of reminds me a little bit of that. But so let me ask you one last question in English. Yep. I do want to ask you a question in Spanish. What's the plans for the future? I mean, you're just really getting started. You're building a dynamic organization with your company, and now you're in a book, and now you're a rock star, and et cetera, et cetera. But where are we going from here?
They say that when you start the beginning, there's personal reasons, right? You want to get here, you want to go to point A and then point B. Once time goes by and you start seeing the people and your team start getting results, and then it becomes something of contribution, right? Of course, and I'm not at that contribution point really, but before it's like, okay, like you want to do this for a personal reason, and then you start growing this and you start appreciating the people a lot more. And so it becomes like, okay, before it was just personal reason, now it's just like, I really want to make this company the gold standard, or like, I really want to impact 1,000 people or more, right? So it becomes, I think, a very unselfish thing. And so again, in the beginning, there's always personal, which is not selfish, don't get me wrong. But then eventually, the more you do it, then it becomes a lot more contribution, and you start enjoying it a lot more. So my plan is, okay, for example, in this past convention, I brought like 7 to 8 people. And now it's like, okay, for the next one, I want to bring 20, and then 30, and then 40, and then 50, then 100, and 200. But again, when you do that, big results in the business, absolutely. But the change in their faces, when they wake up, they look at me and say, oh my God, did you hear that? I said, I heard that. You heard that too? And then they go out like rockets. And then they call you appreciating your friendship. You say, man, that is just wonderful. So big plans. I think right now, I would say my biggest plan is to double, triple, and a lot more our convention seats. I think in my company in particular, that's kind of my plan, because I think the more we do that, the more people see the big picture. The more people will see the big picture, the better they'll do, the bigger right? Like the bigger our business. And overall, I think we'll have a lot of fun. It's like one sort. If you're not having fun, you're doing it wrong. So start having some fun. And so that's kind of where I am right now.
Exactly. So I know, we're going to send this to you on Facebook to use to, help you further your business, obviously let more people know about the book. So why don't you just, feel free here for a minute or two to tell people perhaps who speak Spanish in your Facebook community a little bit about the book.
Excellent. Okay. Entonces, para mis amigos que hablan español, este libro, y para los que están en la industria de mercadeo en red, o para los que quieren estar en la industria de mercado en red, yo creo que lo más difícil es entender lo que es mercado en red. Y si ya estás en mercado en red es entender cómo hacerlo bien. Entonces, para eso hay que aprender de los grandes, ¿no? Este libro te va a enseñar a cómo aprender de los grandes. Es un libro basado solo en historias, de información, de práctica, de cómo hacer que su negocio crezca de una manera que usted quizás nunca se imagina. Y para los que quizás han tenido experiencias más o menos con la industria, o simplemente quieren aprender un poco más de la industria, de personas reales, de personas jóvenes como yo, de personas mayores, de todo tipo de edad, dale la oportunidad. Es un libro de solo 150 páginas. Van a poder aprender mucho del libro, y seguro que estás en la industria de mercado en red o no, van a agarrar un provecho extraordinario, porque es un dato que la economía ahora se basa en cuánto valor tú le puedes dar al mercado. Y para eso hay que ser un profesional de mercado. Entonces, dase la oportunidad. El tema es Moving Up 2020. Después, si quieren el link, se lo envío con mucho gusto y van a poder tener la oportunidad. Seguro que lo van a disfrutar.
Wonderful. Fantastico. I am learning Spanish slowly but surely. But yeah, you're right. It's moving up 2020, but it's translated into Spanish. But they'll be able to find it. Hey, and by the way, for all of our friends in English and Spanish, to find the book, you just go up to www.tremendousleadership.com. And you'll find it under new titles. As I said, the Spanish in the next couple of days digitally will be out. And then the soft copy will be available as well. So in Spanish, but in English right now, digital as well as soft copy. And once again, you're going to want to get a copy of this book. And even if you're not in network marketing, I know, John, like myself, you've got people who are analyzing our business, analyzing the industry itself. And you have friends perhaps that are in real estate or insurance or automobile sales or, other endeavors where for whatever reason, our type of business, hasn't attracted them yet. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. But so many people read this book and they gather information that helps them in any direct sale enterprise that they're in. And there's a lot in there, the thing about Einstein, for example, and the rule of 72. A lot of people have never heard that. And yet if you're in business, you better know that because it really tells you, how to utilize money once that you start to make it and how to grow it. So as one of many examples that you're obviously very familiar with now. So let's do this. In parting words, message to your Facebook community, social media. This will be out in social media. Keith and I will be forwarding this as well as some of the other folks in the book. Final message for people as they see your message today.
My message for everyone who's going to watch this is that things are changing. The economy is changing. And for things to change, you got to change, like you always say. And the reality is that companies like Kodak, for example, and a lot of companies that they want to stick in their old ways, they died completely. And so if you want to really take advantage of the new economy, you really have to see at other industries how they're working. And moving up 2020 just gives you that exposure of, hey, the new economy is this. There's real people doing some incredible stuff, and you should be part of it. And the reality is that we're starting. I mean, the industry has been around for the past 100 years, 50 years. I don't know exactly, but I think now's the best time, right? Because the more problems in the economy, the better for you and me, right? So, and that really is, just the new economy. So if you want to be part of the new economy, check out the book, Moving Up 2020, and I think you get a lot of good stuff in that.
Great. Well, I want to thank you. I know you're having a busy day there, and I know you've got more appointments to go on. So thank you again, and terrific job with building your business, and it's such a pleasure to work with you and your mom and get to know you better and to watch what you're doing. It's tremendous, and we're proud of you, and continued success.
John, thank you so much. It's been a privilege. I've had fun.
Thank you.
Thank you.